Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Troupe Talk. And I am your host, M. Singangora.
And I am Chase Cooper.
And with our very special guest, one half of our presidents here at Troupe 3556, Elizabeth and Ellie Tewksbury. Say hi, Ellie.
Hi.
Most of you guys should probably know her as Ellie. Ellie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great today.
That's good. How's your day so far? Tell us about your day.
My day was fine. School is just like school, whatever, not great. But I chill. It's my dad's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad.
to Corey
Papa
Tewks.
Tewks.
Papa Tewks,
Yeah.
happy birthday. Very fun. Okay, Ellie, so you know how this goes. We're going to ask you questions because this is a podcast. Yes and yes. Okay, well, Ellie, we just recently finished our show, The Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon, which was very fun, was it not?
Yes, it was really fun.
And also, it was a very different show, huh?
Yeah.
And
It
how
was
was the
crazy.
whole, like, rehearsal process, because you weren't just a character, you were you times 1,000. How was this whole different show, like, getting into the character and, like, learning everything? You both, you and Chase both.
Yeah, I mean, I covered this a little bit in the last podcast, so Ellie, I'll let you go.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it was just a little interesting. First of all, we divided up the lines because it was written for 2 narrators. So we changed it to 4. So that was a
Yeah.
really fun process, like working together to figure out
Who says what?
who says what our personalities would lead to, and taking these 2 narrators that were kind of written without characterization
Yeah.
and splitting it to 4 people with very distinct characterization that kind of embodies our actual selves.
Yeah,
So.
I want to say that they one was written crazy and one was written not, but either way, even the one, because narrator 1 is the one I was thinking, oh, that one's written not crazy. That one still has a few crazy moments.
Yeah.
Like, I think narrator 1 is actually the one that kicks off all of the mayhem in Cinderella.
Yeah,
So-
it's weird looking back at the original script and thinking oh, they weren't super separate characters,
Yeah.
but it's so different now because we definitely are.
Was this harder to, get into, considering this is such a different and also very physical show?
I don't think so. Some days it was a little bit harder to focus.
Yeah.
Especially if we didn't have that specific, we didn't have circle or anything to get us into the show, just rehearsal days. That was a little difficult. And the lines were really hard to memorize because some of them were so random and in random places because you'll just be watching the scene and then it's your line all of a sudden. So that was difficult.
The whole show was random in itself. It was a
Yeah.
really
A
random
little
show. Yeah.
So.
So, Ellie, you've been doing theater for quite a long time.
Yes.
How long have you been doing it?
I started doing theater in 7th grade. So this is partway through my
Senior year?
6th year.
Okay.
I don't know how that adding
Wow,
works,
that's a long time.
Yeah.
Did you always know that it was theater, or was it you dip your toes into the water and then you wanted to figure it out for yourself, or was it always theater? That was always your idea of what you were gonna do?
So yeah, I started off actually dancing when
okay.
me and my friends would always make up little dances in my backyard on my
Naturally,
trampoline.
that's what everybody does at a young age.
And then we finally got some lessons and I started taking dance classes in 5th grade. But growing up, I always watched my family friend in productions at Reynolds Middle School. And that's back when Steenson taught there.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I saw a lot of those shows and I always loved it. And I remember I'd always go home with butterflies in my stomach. And I never really knew why, but I guess I was always I knew it was
because you knew that
something
in the future when you were a
special.
junior, you're gonna do I Never Saw Another Butterfly. That was why.
Yeah, I never saw another butterfly at the middle school. And I remember coming home and just loving it.
They performed that at the middle school?
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
That's... Wow, that sounds like
and the,
dark show for
yeah,
middle school.
And the original gang was all in it too. There was Tyler and Chandler, all those people.
But she moved up. I think it was the year I went into 6th grade is when
Ooh.
Steenson moved up to the high school.
Yeah.
And I always thought I was going to have her. And then I
Fun.
didn't. And then my 6th grade teacher wasn't great.
Ooh.
Lots of improv games.
I was there too in that class. It wasn't the funnest time in my life.
Lots of improv games, which I do not personally like.
I
I've
get
gotten
it.
more comfortable with improv, but still not my favorite.
Improv is not for everybody. It's really weird and really also extremely hard. too.
Yeah. So I decided I hated acting.
Oh.
Which
Which is funny to me because it's Elizabeth Tewksbury.
I hate actors.
Yeah, I decided I hated it
Mm-hmm.
and that I sucked at it. But then in 7th grade, I decided to audition for my dance studio's performing arts company where they had to sing, act, and dance.
Interesting.
And I had to do a very serious monologue for my audition. and I cried, like literally just because I didn't know what to do. I couldn't even start the monologue in rehearsal. Like it was so bad.
Dang.
But then I got cast as Diana Barry in Anna Green Gables.
Ooh,
and that was my first role. And I had to act drunk on stage. My little 12-year-old self had no idea how to do that.
Naturally.
But I think I kind of slowly got into acting. And then I didn't really think I was good at it for a long time. Kind of even last year, parts of me were, it's a struggle with acting.
I think that goes for like a lot of actors, not only in our department but in life. Not everybody feels like they're a talented actor or talented in any way, and it's really hard to like, especially at a young age like you, Ellie, when you wanted to do theater. It's hard to make yourself vulnerable, especially in that young of an age when you don't even know. And we still don't know who we are right now, but you even, especially then, you didn't know who you were. You're still figuring out who you are now. So that must have been really difficult.
Yeah, and especially being a non-emotional or especially showing emotions person, it was really hard at first because they're like, connect to this feeling, and I just don't feel that much in my life. So I definitely have to connect to the character and kind of learning the way I have to act and work on a character versus how other people might.
Okay. That's really nice, Ellie. Good job. Good job. Wow. Anyways.
Good
job. Anyways, we have another question. This comes from Leanna. She asked two things. One, how many shows have you done?
Oh goodness.
And you've done a lot. You've done a lot here, but you've done a lot of shows that's not only also here. So count all of them.
Okay.
Right now.
So I believe I counted. Brothers Grimm was my 11th show at Reynolds High School.
Okay.
At Reynolds High School.
Wow, at Reynolds High School. You've done 11 here?
Add on that 3 one-acts I was in at Reynolds High School. So 14.
So 14. Okay. I was going to ask if that was included.
She's not done. She's not done.
Oh, goodness. So I've been a dancer in a couple of shows, like just dancer in about 3 shows. And then I think I've done around 5 or 6 other shows.
Wow. That's a lot of shows.
And then I've also done dance recitals and choir things. So,
guys, Ellie's a machine when it comes to performing. She's a psychopath. She's a machine.
I can't relate. I've been in 6 shows, 8 if you count one acts, and that's gonna be 8 for the end of junior year. So
yeah. I've been in 5 shows at once, or 5 scripts at once.
Really?
Wow.
That was last spring or January when we had production class, 2 one-acts.
Goodness, I remember that.
Tempest and Butterfly, which was.
I remember that.
I forgot the production class existed.
That was such an interesting time. But enough of that. Another question she's asked is that how do you keep up with school and stay active in the drama department at the same time? Not only that, you're also the president of the choir department. So that's a lot of things that you're trying to juggle at once, and you still maintain a pretty good GPA, which scares me, Ellie. It scares me. How do you do that?
I honestly don't know. It's been rough at times. I've definitely turned in assignments late.
I get it.
And done stuff like that.
Yeah.
This year it's a little bit easier to take on those extra things like the being president of the troupe and the choir because being a senior, you have some free periods. So I use that time for that. But
I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess taking your free time that you do have to actually relax so that you can use the time that you are like at school or in rehearsal, just putting your all into it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, now guys, it's time to get serious.
Oh no.
Now, what is your opinion on cheesy bread?
Ooh.
This comes from a very special person named
Garlic
Chepe.
bread's better.
Nope. No,
I don't know.
What?
I like cheesy bread. It is good. But like cheesy bread versus garlic bread, I really don't know. That's too hard.
Chepe is at home right now crying because of you. He's at home crying right now.
I've told this before to a couple of people, but I think the actual reason that I am more on the garlic bread side of things is because cheesy bread has actually given me food poisoning before.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was this one time.
Chepe's at home like, no!
No! There was this one time that literally I was just like playing a game or something and my dad's just like, hey, you want some cheesy bread? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, okay, it's downstairs on the counter. So I get down to it. And the box is open and it's been open for a couple hours. So in retrospect, I should not have eaten that.
You can't blame the cheesy bread at that point.
In retrospect, I should not have eaten that. Okay, but it's not that I'm blaming the cheesy bread. It's just that cheesy bread gives me bad memories.
Okay.
Because that gave me some really bad food poisoning. Like, I couldn't keep anything down. My stomach was in pain. It was not a fun time.
That's rough.
Yeah.
We also have 2 more questions from Chepe. All right, 2 more.
All right.
This next one is, even though it feels like an eternity ago, what was your favorite part about The Little Mermaid? You were the lead. You were the lead. Ariel. And which is one thing. If you guys didn't see The Little Mermaid, it was super fun. It was a really fun time. Ellie was amazing, by the way. Her voice was phenomenal. I can't express enough how she's my favorite Ariel I've ever seen. She's great.
You're too sweet. I think... Honestly, just playing a Disney princess is everyone's dream.
Of course. My dream. What?
My dream is to play Mulan.
that moment when I guess this is a specific moment, but my quick change in the middle of Beyond My Wildest Dreams, which was one of my favorite songs to sing. Mm-hmm. That moment when you just did your quick change and I run out in my big ball gown, that was pretty great because that's just
you
like
did
the
that
moment.
Really quick too, I'm sure a lot of actors feel the pain. Like it's like everyone's on stage just singing naturally, and you're backstage. Gotta change.
Yes, I had a lot of quick changes in that show. That's for sure. Mid song, on stage with the tail. But my favorite number was Positivity.
Oh, that was such a fun number.
That one. Yeah.
I didn't do much in that song. I was just there standing there reacting, but that song was so much fun. It was such a fun song.
On stage for that song, but I love that song.
It's a really good song.
I had so much fun getting to work with all the falls and the characteristics of tumbling around because Sharon, our choreographer, who I love, gave me a lot of freedom with that number. Obviously, my interaction with the other seagulls and Scuttle was very choreographed as to how they caught me and that stuff. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the tumbling, falling around stage, she just gave me the freedom to play around with that because we have such a great relationship between us that she trusted me with that.
It's such a fun thing too, when they give you creative freedom with a number or with a performance, and you can always do what you want with it and make it as big or as little as you can, which is super fun. It's always really amazing how I see different actors. They get this little blueprint of what to do, and then they make it to a big building. I'm like, wow, that's great. They gave you so little in the script about what Ariel could be. All you know is that she's just an annoyed little teenager who wants to marry a human, which is weird, by the way. But you brought some life to that character, which I haven't seen in a while because I've seen a lot of bootlegs online. Shout out to the kids who watch bootlegs online. But I've seen a lot of shows where a lot of Ariels don't know what they're doing, but you gave every single performance and every single little thing had purpose. Even a little finger move was purposeful, which I found I don't understand how people can do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people see this cartoon and they can just go, oh, she's just a dumb young teenager who wants to go meet up with a boy. Mm-hmm. But being that actor, you have to understand why they're doing what they're doing on such a deep level.
Exactly.
Even if it isn't that deep.
Yeah, because it's so easy to just see the movie or read the script and okay, this is why you do it. But just knowing what they do is not enough to understand why they do it.
Yeah.
You really need to understand everything. Yeah, exactly. You have to understand everything that character does or what your character is going to do or what would they do if you were them.
Yeah. Their motivation has to be so deep and true. Mm-hmm. And yes, we played them more cartoony, but the way you portray that motivation can be more cartoony, but you have to understand it it's the realest, truest thing ever, because it is to that character.
Yeah.
Ariel doesn't think she's a dumb teenager.
Nobody in the show, you read a show and you think, wow, this character's so dumb, but they don't think that way.
No.
They think that everything is so genuine because it is genuine to them because they're in their world. They are a person living through that emotion.
Yeah.
Even though we as actors and as people see as a character on stage or on a screen, those characters have feelings. In terms of the world that they live in, which is amazing to me that people could bring that out on stage. And shout out to everybody who does it. A special shout out to Rex Putnam because you guys also performed The Little Mermaid and you guys did a great job, by the way. Shout out to every single one of you. Shout out to the Prince Eric. Shout out to the Ariel, Sebastian, Flounder, to everybody. You guys were all great.
I'm sad I couldn't see it.
Me too. I almost went.
It was still a good show, guys. Anyways, Another question from Chepe. Chepe, you madman asking 3 questions.
Goodness, Chepe.
But anyways, how does it feel, Ellie, to be 2/3 of the way done with Troupe 3556 and with high school, which is scary to me that you and I are both
2/3. I think you might just be referring to of the last shows.
Of the shows.
Yeah, too. But we're almost done with the Troupe too because we get out in like 3 months.
Yeah, which at that point, hold on, let me do the quick maths in my head.
Guys. Can we get some game show music?
11/12.
Oh wow.
11/12
okay.
of the way done.
I would not have been able to do that.
But anyways, how's it feel, Ellie, to be almost done?
It feels pretty crazy. I mean, it's so weird talking to our little freshmen and
oh my goodness, yes.
seeing where they are and just seeing the same thing that was me when I was that young is like, it's just so weird that I won't be here anymore. And
it's funny how we're
I'm
talking
moving
like we're
on.
like 25.
I know.
Right.
I'm so old and mature.
We're so mature.
But just, it's so weird because this was such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
And even when we do eventually leave, which will be a sad day, but when we do leave, I mean, our legacy still lives on, and us being a part of the Troupe will never die.
Yeah.
And it's so refreshing seeing all the wide eyes we get from the freshmen when they see the show. They're like, I want to do that. I'm like, yes, because that feels like it was just like us when we were freshmen.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of the community we've gotten to create this year with our freshmen and all of our underclassmen. It feels so inviting, and I think that's through the seniors and the upperclassmen, but also the underclassmen just coming in, and we have a large group this year, and they're all just coming in and
they're just accept us and us accepting them. Yeah.
I think it's just been great what we as a troupe have grown this year, and so that makes me happier leaving, that we're leaving something really good.
Yeah, I mean, it really shocked me to learn that was part of the reason that we didn't do Beverly Hillbillies over Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon. It was just because our director just thought that we had grown, just through the time being in Little Mermaid, we've grown a lot. We grew a lot.
Yeah.
Humor and the style of Hillbillies, and it was time for something different.
We just had so many talented actors too that I think Brothers Grimm gave so many opportunities to so many different people, which I loved.
There was so many the comedy was very tongue in cheek and very quick, but it was always so specific as to what kind of comedy it could be.
Everyone got a bit. No one was just that person in the background who is very important to any show, but everyone did get their specific thing that they could bring their own to, and I loved that about this show.
That's what I love about the show too.
Yeah.
So speaking of leaving, you're gonna go to college and you could pursue musical theater, which is an awesome profession. It's an awesome profession, and I'm not being sarcastic in any way. I'm really excited for you. Are you nervous to be doing theater in college and to experience theater without us, without your troupe with you? We'll still be with you in heart, but we won't be there with you every step of the way like we are here.
Yeah. I'm really excited to just go and be able to focus on what I love and take dance classes every day, or not every day, but a lot more, which is something I've definitely missed doing high school theater. It's very hard to do dance classes too.
Yeah. It's very hard to just manage time.
Yeah. So I'm excited to have a little bit more time to focus on that. It is a little bit scary thinking I'm going in, and these are a bunch of people I've never worked with, different directors. But I think as long as I find a community that's good, I'll be good to go, because I know I love acting and singing and dancing and all that. So I'm just really excited.
We're all very supportive of you, Ellie, chasing this dream of yours, and I'm very supportive specifically. And so is Chase. Hi. We both are.
You guys can't see, but I'm waving really hard.
Not just me and Chase, but the whole troupe, because you are, essentially our mother. She is our mother.
She is
troupe
our mother.
Mom.
The troupe mom, and Ethan's the troupe dad.
Yes.
Naturally. But anyways, yes, it's super exciting. So on that, since you love theater so much, is there any being a woman, is there any female characters in musicals or in plays that one thing that you want to play,
or any character? We don't discriminate.
Of course not. But specific. Oh wow, tongue ties. Specifically, female characters that inspired you, or feels like they empowered you in a way to keep doing theater, or that makes you really happy.
Yeah. As far as roles that I love to play, My dream role for the longest time, since like 6th or 7th grade, has been Kathy Selden in Singing in the Rain. If any of you remember...
I've heard you sing a lot of the songs from that musical. You'd be great in that show.
Yeah, if any of you remember, me and Mitchell did Good Morning for regionals.
It was really good.
And through that, I found that I have a Kathy Selden voice, and I can sing Good Morning in her voice. And
which is awesome.
It was pretty fun. That was kind of the first thing that I found that was special about something I could specifically do with my voice versus it's so hard because there's so many wonderful singers out there.
Of course.
That you're always like, oh, I'm not that good. But it was kind of fun in like freshman, sophomore year when I was still developing my voice to find something I felt I was really good at. And that was actually the first time I met Mr. Wilson. Our student teacher last year. He's now teaching at Aloha.
Shout out to Aloha and shout out to Mr. Wilson.
And I had just finished Good Morning, and he came up to me. He was working with Gresham High School at the time, and he went, "You sound exactly like Kathy Selden."
And you do.
Or like Debbie Reynolds. And that was the biggest compliment in my life.
Might I say you do? I've heard you sing that song many times. And even though it gets annoying sometimes, she has a beautiful voice, and it sounds amazing. But yeah, it's always so fun. So do you have a favorite musical or play?
Y'all know this. I have a favorite musical.
Oh, yes. Oh, no.
It's called Bandstand. I'm sure everyone's sick of me talking about it by now.
I have literally never heard you talk about it, so go for it.
You have no idea,
Oh, my
Chase.
goodness.
You have no idea.
Bandstand is such a beautiful musical. It only came out in, I think, 2017.
Really?
But it's got a beautiful, like, swing, jazzy score, which I love, and beautiful dancing, and so many deep emotions, and Corey Cott and Laura Osnes are in it, and I love them both so much. And yeah, that's my favorite musical. It's beautiful.
Is there any advice you can give the freshmen, specifically, not just freshmen, but female freshmen that want to keep doing theater? Is there any kind of advice you can give them?
Or anyone?
I don't think I have anything specific for female, but just in general, I'd say just make sure you always find something you love in it in every show you do, because there's going to be that show or those couple weeks of rehearsal that are really rough. So just
everybody knows that feeling.
Everyone knows
of that feeling.
Just find, even if it's
2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that feels like it goes on forever.
Even if it's just that one line you love or that one time in between scenes backstage, find something you love and just, I guess, work hard at it and enjoy your time here and do as much as you can while still staying mentally healthy.
Just high school theater, wow, it goes by like that.
Yeah.
It goes by in a blink of an eye, because freshman year feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday that we were freshmen, Ellie.
And I remember sitting backstage, Anne of Green Gables, literally, I was just off stage left. I was playing like Animal Crossing on my DS or something.
Naturally.
And Kate comes up to me and is like, "Hey," for me, this is like, this was so long ago that I'm not even thinking, how do I word this? How do I say this? Kate, I didn't get to know Kate that well because she was a senior when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I know you guys because I've known you guys for 3 years.
Oh, yes.
But Kate, I only got to know for 1 year, and even then, I was basically, it's that upperclassman effect. It's like, wow, I really admire this person, partially because they're a senior, but also because they're a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting to create that memory of just playing Animal Crossing backstage with the lead role. So,
Yeah.
It's always so weird too, because I said it in the last episode, but you always look up to your seniors when you're a freshman or if you're a lower classman, and sometimes it feels like they are above you. But I feel like this year we really made it feel like no one's above anybody.
Yeah.
We're all equals. We are all together because we're all one in this troupe.
I feel that. I feel that.
I find really refreshing in our troupe because it's always so nice to have somebody feel like you're somebody, not anyone's above you, no one's below you. We're all the same.
Yeah, or even because I guarantee you there are people that feel at the very least like they're not as good as everyone else. Not only do I feel like they have a place, I want to say this: you do have a place. Every single person in this department has a place, and they have their part, and they're fantastic at it.
Exactly.
So, yeah. That's all I want to say.
Do you also feel that way too? That we've made great strides in making everybody feel as equals.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say because I'm not a freshman, but I feel like I love hearing our freshmen being the ones talking and being rowdy in the theater room. Because I remember, like my freshman year, the freshmen were always kind of like, if there were any freshmen in the living room, always in the corner, kind of.
It was always like
keeping
weird
to
too, because like
themselves.
all our freshmen, like at least before this year, were like, can we even sit in the couch or on the chair? I'm like, it's like,
Y'all
no,
had
you can sit in
that-
the couch. It's okay.
They had that for like a
remember
week
that.
here.
I remember thinking, oh my gosh, we're not allowed to go over there. We're not allowed to. And now basically just
That's our house. That's our house essentially.
If there's free time during a scene study, I'll literally just go just sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Why not?
I've once taken a nap during class.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it. I actually am very proud of it because it wasn't a good nap. But you know what I mean.
Proud of the nap, not proud of taking the nap.
Of course. Ellie, I asked this everybody who comes onto the show. Is there a favorite goof up you've ever had in a show?
Oh my goodness.
Specifically here at RHS, because there's a lot.
There's
There is
a
a
lot.
lot of goof ups that happen. You guys don't see it.
I don't know.
What if we talk about some more and you can think of them?
I think it might be from Mermaid, but I don't know what from Mermaid. I did get hit by the ship. That was a thing. I was exiting after singing The World Above, and I exit stage left, and they bring in a piece of the ship, and it hit the reverse, which was our big platform that was on stage.
Yeah.
And then one end of it swung out and smashed into me when I was exiting the stage. That was rough.
Especially that boat was rough too. It looked really painful to sit in.
Yeah. Oh, and the other boat. That was the ship that hit me.
Oh my goodness.
The other boat was very difficult because we had to climb in underneath it, and it was very small entering. And we both had quick changes before and after. So
You and Skylar.
Yeah, me and Skylar, Prince Eric. Or I don't think he had a quick change after, but before or something.
It was still quick.
And then they had to put buckets under our feet because we were sitting up tall, and they didn't want our feet to fall asleep while we were sitting in the boat.
Yeah.
But then, we had to get out. And sometimes our, earlier rehearsals when we first got the boat, our people would forget to take out the buckets when we got off stage. And I had to get down, run around to stage right, do a quick change, and then enter for If Only. And actually, I don't know if you guys talked about this. The time that one of you didn't enter for the scene before If Only.
Yeah. You can talk about it. We didn't talk about it.
Oh,
You can bring it up because
Well,
that
I
was a
think-
funny time.
Was it Andy?
It was Andrew, yeah.
I think this was a dress rehearsal, one of our final dress rehearsals.
The final one before we
Yes.
went up.
And Andy didn't make it on for the scene before If Only. And that's right after we have Kiss the Girl. And I have to get out of that boat, like I said, and run around. And it was my first time actually doing the costume change. I didn't have my nightgown until final dress because I had to go up to the costume room and pull it myself because it didn't happen. There was so much going on during that show. I don't
You'll love to
blame
see it.
anyone for that, but it was just,
Yeah.
it just didn't happen until final dress. So it was my first time with the quick change, and their scene got cut very, very short.
It was just hard to do that scene without Andy there, and you can only save a scene so much with not knowing so little.
Yeah, especially with this type of show. It was very hard. Like, you can't improv anything with Little Mermaid.
Because the audience will know.
They'll know.
Yeah, and then I had to run on stage and sing a really emotional song after that, so that was great.
After all that.
Oh, fun.
Isn't that just fun times? Anyways, guys, that is our time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Troupe Talk. I'm Emson. Everybody, say thank you to Ellie, or big ol' shout out to Ellie for coming on the show today. Thank you, Ellie, for coming.
Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Is there any questions you guys want us to ask the next person? Is there anything we didn't ask Ellie that you want answered?
Is there anyone else you want to bring on?
It doesn't have, and it doesn't have to be a senior. It could
doesn't
be
have
a
to be
freshman.
senior.
It could be a sophomore. It
Literally
could be
anyone.
anybody.
It could be me. You could ask for me to be on
No,
the
thank
show.
Don't ask.
you. No,
Don't
thank
ask
you.
for
Don't
Chase.
do that.
Don't ask for Chase. He's
I'm
not gonna.
always here. Anyway.
I don't want him here, but he's here. Anyways, guys, but that's our time, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm Emson,
I'm Chase.
and this has been Troupe Talk. Okay, guys. Until next time, have a good day.